Hey, Stephen Smith here, and I believe that I have a word from the Lord for you today. And that word is paraclete. You're probably saying to yourself, Stephen, what's a paraclete and why are you calling me that? Well, what it actually means is that the paraclete is the term that Jesus Christ used to describe the Holy Spirit. You know, when Jesus said that he was leaving, he said that there would be someone that would come in and take his place. Now, it's important for us to understand that he didn't say that he was leaving and he would be replaced by the paraclete. He was actually leaving and that he would be assisted by the paraclete. That's the way that it translates. The paraclete is that person that's here to help us as a counselor, to help us as a comforter, to help us stand in front of the judge. These are all things that enable us to be able to be successful here in our Christian life. This is how Jesus described it in John 14, 16, and 17. He said, "And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate. He will never leave you. He is the Holy Spirit. He leads into all truth. The world cannot receive from him because it isn't looking for him and doesn't recognize him. But you know him because he lives in you now and later will be in you." This is a promise that will be infilled with the Holy Spirit. On the day of Pentecost, this became a reality for every single Christian. Because of what Christ did for us on the cross, God no longer had to pick and choose who he put his Spirit into. God put his Spirit into every single one of us as Christians. It's whether or not we allow him to be set loose and to go out and be what he needs to be in our own lives. You know, this is the definition of what a paraclete is. This is from Thayer's dictionary. It's summoned, called to one's side, especially called to one's aid, one who pleads another's cause before a judge, a pleader, a counsel for defense, a legal assistant, and an advocate. These are all things that the Holy Spirit does for us because Jesus Christ himself said that it was available for us. Now, not all of us use this. Not all of us realize the power of God's own Spirit within us because we constantly put him in the trunk. We constantly keep him in a box. We don't understand who he is, what he is, and why that is. But I don't want you to feel bad because, you know, the church in Ephesus had the same problem. This is the same church whose pastor was Timothy. You know, Apollos was also the pastor there. Even John the Apostle was pastor there. They even had a certain traveling teacher named the Apostle Paul who traveled through there. And they didn't realize the power of the Holy Spirit in their own lives. In fact, none of us really can grasp the total concept of this without an enlightenment from God. That's why Paul prayed this prayer for the church. This is Ephesians 3:16. "I pray that from his glorious unlimited resources he will empower you with inner strength through his Spirit." This is extremely important for our success in everything that we do. I want you to keep this in mind. If God's own Spirit, who raised Christ from the dead, dwells within us, and if nothing on this world or in heaven above or on the earth below or anything else could stop the Holy Spirit from raising Christ from the dead, what makes you think that whatever God has planned for you and the Holy Spirit is working towards can be stopped? Absolutely nothing. That's why Paul told the church in Rome this. This is Romans 8:11. "But if the Spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his Spirit who dwells within you." That's extremely important for us because now what we'll do is we'll be able to operate with the full power of the Spirit within us. Christ himself described the Holy Spirit as a river that flows from the inside of us. You know, a river that flows from the inside of us means that it's consistent. It's always flowing. It's always going. It's never ending. And it's nourishing others with the same strength and the same vitality that we have. The only way that that would be possible if it were God's own Spirit in us, right? So John 7:38 and 39 tells us this: "Anyone who believes in me may come and drink. For the scriptures declare rivers of living water will flow from his heart." When he said living water, he was speaking of the Holy Spirit who would be given to everyone believing in him. But the Spirit had not yet been given because Jesus had not yet entered into his glory. This is so important for us to understand. This victory, this process of having God's own Spirit in us is so critical for us that not only does it prepare us for our work as Christians, not only does it prepare us for service to God himself here on this earth, but it also sets us apart and marks us. You know that you are marked and sealed by the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is God's own proof that as he operates and does the things in our lives that set us aside as totally different in this world, it marks us as God's own property. Everybody should be looking at us saying, hey, there's a Christian. Hey, look, there's Steve. Hey, look, there's George. Hey, look, there's this person that has God's own Spirit in him. He has definitely set aside. That's how we should be living our lives. Well, Based on these things, this is the word that I believe the Lord gave to me for you today. I have given you my own Spirit. He is with you and in you. For all your needs, for all your heart's desires, look to him, for he will never leave you. He will never forsake you. That's a tremendous promise, isn't it? Why don't we take God up on his promise and allow God's Spirit to work in our lives? Allow that paraclete to go out and do the paraclete that he needs to do. And you'll see phenomenal success and victory in everything that you set your hand to. Well, you're more than welcome to share this on Facebook. You can go to YouTube and check it out on our channel. You can even go to our website at awfg.today. You can download this video. You can download our blog. You can even take a listen to our MP3 and download that as well. Well, God bless you, and I hope to hear from you soon.